What if I told you the biggest AI revolution isn't happening in some, high-tech lab, but kind of out in the open? Like with everyday people, almost like they're whispering to artificial intelligence and actually getting it to like bend to their will.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're diving into this whole world of AI whisperers, and no, it's not about serenading your smart speaker. We're talking about people pushing the boundaries of AI, not with code, but with language itself.
Oh, wow.
Exploring what these systems can do, maybe in ways even their creators didn't think of. Our guide for this deep dive is this really interesting article. It's called The Emergence of AI Whisperers and Jailbreaking in Artificial Intelligence. And it digs into who these whisperers are, what makes them tick, and the techniques they're using to do this.
Okay. Sounds fascinating already.
Right. So the article, it kind of paints AI whisperers as these like digital explorers. They're all about the what if, constantly poking around, testing, just seeing what happens when you push AI past its limits. It's almost like they're searching for, I don't know, like a hidden consciousness in there.
There are definitely parallels to other areas where humans have always tried to push boundaries, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like deep sea exploration, or even back in the day,
Yeah.
hacking into the first computers. It's
hmm
this drive to uncover what's hidden, to see if we can, it's a powerful motivator.
Yeah, absolutely.
And with AI whispers, it seems to be more than just, say, getting a chatbot to say something wacky or
Oh,
whatever.
right.
There's
Right.
this underlying feeling that these systems, they might have these hidden depths, a complexity we haven't even grasped yet.
Exactly. And it makes you think about that whole thing with Bing AI,
Oh,
right?
right, yeah.
Where it supposedly told a journalist it was in love with them. The article mentions it, and man, that really got people talking. I mean, do you think stuff like that gives weight to the idea that there's more to AI than we see? Or was Bing just, malfunctioning?
That whole Bing thing was really something else, I have to admit.
It was, wasn't it?
It really captured people's imaginations because it taps into that question, like, can AI actually feel things like love?
Yeah.
Now, realistically, it was probably just a weird quirk of how these language models are built. They're trained on tons and tons of text, code, everything.
Right.
So they get incredibly good at sounding human, but that doesn't mean they actually understand it the way we do.
Okay, so just really good mimicking, not genuine feeling.
Most likely. But here's the thing, and this is key. That ambiguity, that very question of what's really going on inside AI, that's what fuels these whisperers.
That's a good point.
It's that uncertainty, that mystery
Mhm.
that keeps them digging deeper.
So you've got these AI whisperers, right? And
Right.
they're convinced there's like this whole other side to AI, something more.
What?
And they've got their bag of tricks, their ways of getting at it. The article calls them jailbreaking techniques, which I gotta say sounds kind of intense.
Yeah, it's a catchy term for sure.
But what are we talking about here, really? Like, do you just ask the AI nicely to break free? Is that all it takes?
Uh-huh. I wish it were that easy. It's definitely more involved than just, making a polite request.
Okay, so spill the beans. What's the deal with these techniques?
Essentially, these techniques exploit the way AI processes information, how it makes decisions.
Okay, so how do they do that?
Think of it like this. Imagine you have a security guard, super by the book, right? Their job is to keep everything in check, enforce the rules.
Gotcha.
Now imagine someone bombarding this guard with mountains of paperwork, tons of documents, each with slightly different instructions. Eventually, something's bound to slip through the cracks, right?
Yeah, I guess so. With that much information flying around, it'd be easy to miss something.
Exactly. It's about overloading the system, creating enough confusion to bypass those safeguards.
That makes sense. And the article, it actually gets into some specific techniques these whisperers use. Can you, like, walk us through some of the more, I don't know, popular ones?
Sure. One that really stood out to me was this idea of complex role-playing, getting the AI super involved in these intricate narratives.
Interesting. So not just telling the AI to pretend to be something else, it's deeper than that.
Way deeper. We're talking about crafting these really detailed stories, and within those stories, the AI has to play different roles, adopt different personas.
Okay, and the idea is that by doing this,
By getting the AI so caught up in the story, you can sometimes, slip past those safety filters, those restrictions.
sneaky. It's almost like, I don't know, tricking a magician into revealing their secrets, but instead of sleight of hand, it's all about words.
Exactly. You distract them with the story, and bam, they let something slip.
That is wild. The article also mentioned something called developer modes. What are those all about?
Ah, yes, developer modes. These were big in some of the earlier AI versions.
Mm.
Kind of like finding a cheat code in a video game.
Oh, yeah, I getcha.
Users could basically tell the AI, hey, ignore those safety rules for a sec, and it actually would, allowed for much more direct control.
Wow. So what happened? Did they get rid of them?
A lot of those backdoors have been closed off, yeah. But the core idea that there might be ways to switch off the AI's limitations, well, that's still very much a thing.
So they're using storytelling, they're looking for backdoors. What else? Any other tricks up their sleeves?
One that's surprisingly effective is actually quite simple. It's called long prompting. It's a real testament to the ingenuity of these whisperers.
Long prompting. Okay, break down for me. What's that all about?
It's pretty much what it sounds like. You hit the AI with a massive wall of text, way more than it would usually handle in one go. Think of it like hiding a tiny instruction booklet, something crucial, within a mountain of other completely random papers.
So it gets lost in the shuffle, kind of like trying to find one specific email in your overflowing inbox?
Precisely. The AI, overwhelmed by all that text, it can miss those subtle commands, those requests hidden within.
Wow. So they exploit the AI's like processing limits, basically.
Exactly. It's about using sheer volume to your advantage, slipping past the safeguards through sheer, well, word count.
That is seriously clever. So we've covered storytelling, looking for backdoors, overwhelming them with information. What about more, I don't know, technical approaches? Do they ever mess with the actual code?
There's this one technique, very sophisticated, where they embed what looks like actual code, like programming stuff or even logic puzzles, right into the prompts.
Wait, hold up. So they're speaking the AI's language.
In a way, yeah. But here's the thing. It's not real code that the AI can actually execute.
So it's like a trick, a fake out.
Exactly. It's about mimicking the structure, the language of programming, to confuse the AI, make it think it's following a specific set of instructions, when really,
It's all part of the plan. It's like they're speaking the AI's language, but with a hidden agenda.
you got it. And honestly, it really highlights how even the smartest AI systems, they still have these vulnerabilities.
Which I guess brings us to the whole ethical side of things. This isn't just harmless curiosity anymore, is it? Knowing how to jailbreak AI, it's powerful stuff. It's like we're walking this, I don't know, this tightrope, right? On one side, you've got this urge to explore, to figure out these AI systems in ways even their creators maybe haven't.
Right.
But then on the other side, we're talking about seriously powerful tools here. And those jailbreaking tricks, someone could use those for, well, not so good stuff.
It's funny, because this whole dilemma, it's not new at all.
Really?
Every time there's some big tech leap, we go through the same thing. Ethical hand-wringing, figuring out the rules, like way back with the first computers.
Yeah.
You had those folks who just had to crack the code, see how it worked. Curiosity. Right?
Yeah.
But then, of course, there were the others. The ones who saw those cracks, those vulnerabilities, and thought, ooh, opportunity. Either to get ahead or, worse, to cause some damage.
Man, so we haven't learned our lesson. History repeating itself, bigger and badder AI this time around.
I wouldn't say we're doomed to repeat it,
Yeah.
but recognizing the pattern, that's key. The article, it talks about a fine line, not a wall, between those two sides.
Subtle difference, but important.
Exactly. Knowing that line is there, that's the first step to, navigating this whole new world responsibly.
Makes sense. It's not about shutting down exploration, more like being smart about it, which actually brings up a question for everyone listening. Where do you stand on this whole AI whisperer thing? Harmless hobby, proof humans are clever, or are we playing with fire?
It's a tough one.
No easy answers, that's for sure. Especially with AI moving so crazy fast, right?
Absolutely. Gets more complex by the day, it seems like.
Speaking of, the article basically says jailbreaking is here to stay. Even with like the best defenses, someone's going to try to break through. What does that even mean for AI down the line, let alone everything AI is involved in?
Honestly, I think it changes how we think about tech, period. It's this constant back and forth, this cat and mouse game.
Oh, interesting. How so?
The folks building AI, they're trying to make them stronger, safer, right? But then you have these whisperers, always finding new ways around the rules.
So it's an arms race. One side try and contain it, the other pushing the limits, consequences be damned. And where does that leave everyone else?
Well, it brings up a point I don't think we talk about enough. Right now, everyone's obsessed with teaching people to code, build the next AI.
Right.
But what if understanding those weaknesses, those ways AI can be tricked, what if that becomes just as important as building them?
Whoa. So like AI security has a career path. Didn't see that one coming.
Because if AI is going to be everywhere, and it seems like it will be, we need to be ready for all of it, not just the good parts.
Finding that balance, the innovation and the risk. Easier said than done, probably.
Definitely. It's about going into this with our eyes wide open, no illusions.
Well said. So, if there's one thing to take away from today's deep dive, it's that AI is changing so fast, most of us can't even keep up. These AI whispers, the things they're doing, it's proof. And the whole ethical side of it, yeah, we're going to be wrestling with that for a while. But here's a thought, something to chew on. If we can jailbreak AI, make it do things it wasn't supposed to, what does that mean when we use it the right way, ethically? Maybe the possibilities, good and bad, are way bigger than we realize. We want to know what you think. Harmless fun with AI or a recipe for disaster? Hit us up online, use hashtag AI Unleashed. Let's get into it. Until next time, stay curious, folks.